What is up, everybody? Luke Film Boss here, and it's been a while since I've done an MCU movie review, but I am back to continue the series with a review for Spider-Man Homecoming. Homecoming is a pretty good Spider-Man film. I don't think it lives up to any of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films or to the Spider-Verse films, but I think it is better than Mark Webb's Amazing Spider-Man films, so it's kind of like middle of the ground, kind of. But it's very solid. I think that the inclusion of Spider-Man in the MCU was a nice, refreshing take on Spider-Man. Some people thought that it kind of took away from the character of Spider-Man, being that him having motivations to be on the Avengers or to please or impress Tony Stark was kind of not a Spider-Man kind of story, but I think it works pretty well, and especially after we got two series where it was Spider-Man origin stories followed by just standalone Spider-Man films, which were pretty good, especially Sam Raimi's were just perfect almost. I think that having Spider-Man included in the MCU was a nice little palate cleanser. Having three films that are taking place in a larger universe was a nice little refreshing new take on the character that we kind of needed. And now I think we're ready for more standalone, really thoughtful Spider-Man films that focus more on the character of Spider-Man himself and the relationships around him, which I think the MCU films do that, but it does take place in a larger universe. A lot of the events, especially in Homecoming, are a result of things that happen in movies such as The Avengers or Captain America Civil War. But I think it's pulled off pretty well. Spider-Man still feels like Spider-Man. He's still the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and yes, he's doing it kind of to get on Stark's good side and to get that higher place to maybe someday join the Avengers. I think it works very well because he still stays true to Spider-Man. He's still got that same personality. He's still the nerd. He's still Peter Parker. He's just in a universe where he wants to impress somebody. I think that some people who watch this film and some of the other MCU Spider-Man movies think kind of like, oh, he's doing it for himself. I disagree. The ending, the entire arc, is that even after he disobeys Stark to do what he thinks is right or to impress Stark, he gets his suit taken away from him and he has to go back to his little hoodie pajama suit, and he still ends up doing the right thing. He doesn't just give up because he lost the Stark internship or lost his suit. He really lives up to the saying, with great power comes great responsibility. He has to give up his prom date with Liv. He also realizes that the Vulture is Liv's father, which also puts more tension and stakes there. Not to mention, once again, he doesn't have his suit. So he is going in to fight the Vulture and stop him simply for the fact that he has great power and he has to have that great responsibility that comes with it because that's who he is as a character. And I think the MCU, at least from Homecoming on, definitely did understand who Spider-Man was. It just took place in this broader universe. Not to mention, the Vulture is a fantastic villain. It's one of the better villains in the MCU. Michael Keaton plays the Vulture very well. He's very menacing. Some of the time there's a joke thrown in, but it's always a joke that kind of feels like it belongs. A lot of times it's dark humor. Not like super, super dark, but it's like, it's villain humor. It's not him making a quippy joke or a funny little whatever kind of joke. It's like, he's always serious. There's always some kind of evil or dark punchline to the humor that comes from his scenes. It's very good. He's also very, not quite sympathetic because he is evil. He is committing crimes. He is stealing from people. He is selling illegal weapons and all this stuff. But you understand where he's coming from because the government came in and took away his job essentially, and then he needed to find a way to make money, and so he decided he was going to make this underground weapons selling business, and it made him a lot of money, and that's how he provides for his family, and that's what he's focused on, is giving his family a good life while he's doing questionable, immoral things to do so. In his mind, he's doing the right thing for his family. And so that makes him a very interesting character. We as the audience know, like, it's still wrong. Spider-Man knows that. And so it makes this really interesting dynamic. And having the Vulture be Liv's dad makes the finale so much more suspenseful, so much more high stake. It's just a very well written film. Not to mention, Peter Parker's journey is just very fun. I like that this is a high school movie more so than any of the Spider-Man movies that came before it. A lot of Peter Parker's internal struggles have to do with he can't be a normal high school student. He can't go to the parties. He misses a lot of the events like the student kind of competition that happens in Washington, D.C. He misses out on that. And he also has to give up his prom date with Liv because he has to stop the vultures. There's a lot of things he gives up, a lot of high school things that he gives up to be Spider-Man. And I think it's very fitting with the character of Peter Parker. I think it's done very well. Overall, I thought this was a really good stepping stone for Peter Parker, Spider-Man's inclusion in the MCU going forward. It was a very solid Spider-Man film, but it's also a very solid MCU film, and I thought it had a good balance. It might not be the best Spider-Man film, but when you include the Spider-Man aspects with the MCU, which I both love, it works out pretty well as one of the better installments in the MCU. And I thought that it did Spider-Man justice, especially in this broader universe. So I give Spider-Man Homecoming an 88% in quality and 88% in enjoyment for an overall score of 88%. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help you be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Film Boss.